family, that works in the. Oh, did we go live?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Lucy's laying here purring.
Braxy's outside screaming at people.
We're not sure where Johnie is. I just texted him. Wake up. I was thinking.
Morning, sunshine.
We're live.
I was telling Jennie in the after show, I was like, I am not in a good mood today. I am a ball of fucking sunshine. Like, I'm just in the pissiest mood today. So, apologies in advance for my...
Hang in there, everybody. I was just getting ready to tell you, Becca, I've been reading for people that have family and friends that work, for the government that are losing their jobs and stuff. And it's crazy.
We're all feeling it. We are all feeling it. And, I don't mean to get short on people, but it's like, if I'm not coming on for a reason, it's for a reason. Don't email me asking me to do grand tableaus on political figures and stuff. Just give me my space. You know what I mean? Like, please. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And there was no saga this morning, Mr. Johnie. I had to rewatch last week's to get my spirit lifted a little.
I just, like 9 seconds ago, finally uploaded everything to YouTube. It just hasn't released yet, so everything is queued up, though.
I'm so discombobulated. I forgot that February's a short month, and today's the first Sunday of March. And Gail and I should have done Sacred Sounds of Coffee this morning. I totally forgot. She forgot apparently because she didn't text me. So hopefully next Sunday on Gail's channel, if you're not subscribed to her, Spark Souls Therapy, get subscribed to her. Hopefully we'll do Sacred Sounds of Coffee next Sunday. I just have to get in touch with Gail.
I thought yesterday was Sunday.
I slept most of today. Bye, Luce.
You slept? I did too. I woke up like at 9:30, which is late. I'm usually like I am not even kidding you. The last 3 or 4 days, I've been getting up out of a dead sleep like at 4 o'clock in the morning, just bing, just waking up. And today I wasn't feeling well, so I slept until about 9:30, did some stuff, went and sat on the bed right there, and fell asleep again. Woke up like an hour ago. I was like, what happened?
The day
damaged.
I usually practice my guitar on Sundays, because it's my day off, and I sat down on the sofa. Next thing I knew, I was
you were passed out too. Yeah.
Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you, Deanna. And Peanut yesterday was bugging me to go take the baby to go for a hike and then go to a party afterwards. I was like, no. I get a day and a half off because of Sundays with you guys. I was like, I am not spending it climbing up a mountain when I don't feel good to come home, to rush, to take a shower, to get ready to go to be around a bunch of people I don't want to be around. Like, no. So he took her and she had a blast. But yeah.
It's a little work to get ready for Sunday nights. You have to, before going live and everything, you have to get the questions in order and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So how have you
Innocent Potatoes screaming in her car. That's the way it is right now. Just let it out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I am 2 seconds away from going absolutely mental. I can't. I'm trying to keep it together, but I can't wrap my head around how the fuck did we let this happen?
I can't wrap my head around Republicans just okay with all of this.
Yeah, I just don't. We saw what we saw. We heard what we heard. He admitted it more than once, and everybody's just like, yeah, that's fine. Democracy may survive. It may not. Like.
On a funny note, if you didn't see the cold open for Saturday Night Live last night, it was pretty good. ridiculing Vance and Trump for their little Zelensky gang up.
I started watching it and I had to turn it off because I couldn't stomach it. My blood was boiling when I saw that. I was like, you know what? My fuse is very short right now. And that's just going to send me over the edge. So I've been getting crafty. I talked to Mom. I did a reading for Mom. I think it was Wednesday. She was like, I don't know how you do it, Becca. I was like, Mom, disassociation and delusion. It's cheaper than therapy. I have been sticking my head in the sand. Like, I can't do this shit for another 4 years. I can't. So I've been like coloring and stuff. And then I got this genius idea because I started seeing them all over Etsy, these little charms. So then I went crazy making a bunch. I have a whole dish full of freaking charms. I was like, I'm telling you, I've been getting crafty AF. I'm a crafty bitch now.
Just bookmarks and things out of your charms.
Yeah, I've been making charms. I've been coloring. I've been making like little things with air dry clay. Like I can't ever focus on this shit because I'm gonna go insane. So yeah. Fabrics is going out of business. When I was at Michael's picking up charms, the two ladies behind me, two little old ladies, were talking about how Joann's was going out of business. And I was like, all of them or just the one here? Because there's one right across the street. And she's like, I'm not sure, but everything at the store is 50% off. So I hauled my ass straight to Joann's right after. And it was like hardly anything there. And I didn't know. I just thought it was that one. No, I guess it's all of
them. For the crafters like quilters and stuff. Thank you, MJB. I was talking to Beth Cat about it because we both like crafting and stuff. And quilters, you like to make sure your fabrics are going together when you're picking out. So it's hard to do that online. There's no fabric stores now.
There's no, yeah. And there's a difference. Like, it's a lot different to go into a place like Joann's Fabrics and actually feel the fabric and see how it's made than shopping online. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a, and not just for people that are into sewing and making quilts, but also people that are into like yarn and stuff. Joann has a fabulous selection of yarn,
Us knitters and crocheters, we have a lot of places that we can get yarn from. But I was thinking about with the economy going to hell in a handbasket, a lot of people are going to start sewing again. I grew up in handmade clothes and stuff. So, hey, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
So it's like, if there's nowhere to buy fabric, there's nowhere to, get fabric cheap to make clothes for your kids.
I don't even know how to sew on a button. Because I never took home ec. I took shop, so I don't know how to sew. So
I do a little bit of quilting. I have a quilt I've been working on for years, but I occasionally will hand sew things and embroider and things. And Michael's is still there. You can still get embroidery floss there and yarn.
I am single-handedly keeping Michael's and Barnes and Nobles open at this point. Like, because Johnie, you've been to my house in the same shopping center that Michael's is at, right down the street. In that same shopping center is Michael's and Barnes and Nobles. So go to Michael's, go to Barnes and Nobles. That's it. And every time you spend money, they send you here's a $10 voucher. So. As soon as I get a voucher, I'm right back down the hill. What do I need today? Like, do I need more, colored pencils? And then I made the mistake. I made the freaking horrible mistake. The one by my house is not very big. And there was this iridescent watercolor paint that I wanted for my coloring books, and they didn't have it. So I did a buy online, pick up in store. And I ended up going to the fancy one. That was I was
a big one.
Buy it, put the freaking shit down. Put it in your cart. You're here to get one thing, but it was such a fancy like Michael's that the whole section of coloring books. Yeah, I mean, it was disorganized, but they had so many, and then the coloring pencils and paints and just all sorts of stuff. It was huge. I was like, this is amazing, but all I did was go and get my thing because I used my $10 voucher. So I only ended up paying 13 cents for what I needed, but yeah, I was like, don't ever go to that store again. Not to that fancy Michael's.
I buy my tea lights from Michael's, the boxes of 50 or 100. So I always use my vouchers on stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the fall, they always get these jar candles in, and I always wait till they run them on sale. The first time they run them on sale, I run in and I buy a whole bunch of them. Like I'll buy like 12, and I use them in my kitchen all winter, constantly burning jar candles. And interesting, yesterday, was the blackout day, the 28th, to not go anywhere. I was laughing. This girl, she's dressed in her Walmart, how they wear a little apron or whatever, and she's in there filming, and she goes, y'all, it's working. Look, nobody's in here. And she was in like a super Walmart, and nobody was in there. Nobody. She's like, keep going. And she worked for Walmart. She's like, keep doing it. Send the message.
Wow.
Brave of her to film herself as an employee.
Yeah, seriously. All we've been doing, I can't tell you the last time I went, because you all know, especially Johnie, because he's been to my house, everything is literally within a mile radius. I don't need to go far. And because it's so convenient, I only go to Trader Joe's and Target to go grocery shopping until they opened up the Winco. I can't tell you the last time I stepped foot in Target. Actually, as a matter of fact, I can. It was when the Target special edition of Onyx Storm came out. That's the last time, which was in January 21st, that I stepped foot in there. It's like, no, not with this whole, we're doing away with DEI. And what was so upsetting is that Target seemed like they were pretty liberal. Like when all that stuff happened years ago with people going after women breastfeeding their kids in public, and Target employees were kicking people out for harassing women for doing something that's fucking natural. It's not the baby's fault. It's you for being a pervert, So, and then they pulled this shit. I was like, no. So we've been just going to Costco.
I wouldn't even notice if you weren't like raising Cain and calling attention to it.
So we've only been going to Costco. Like Peanut just went yesterday. The thing with Costco is you can't walk out of there without spending less than $300 freaking bucks, because everything is bulk. So, but we're set, So he went and got a bunch of groceries for us, and a couple of household items that we needed, like laundry detergent and stuff like that. And we're set for the next few months. So yeah.
I've been stocking up on things like I like the little red beans and rice mixes, and those save forever and have the dried beans in them. So things like that, I try to stock up on a little bit, that I don't have to worry about expiration dates. But
yeah,
and I started buying, egg beaters and Lucerne. All these guys make egg substitute stuff. And that was like $2.99. I think I said 3 tablespoons of it equals 1 egg. So using it in baking or whatever. And then Beth Cat was reading articles on like if you're making a brownie mix and you're using that for the egg, that you might want to also add a little applesauce because it helps the texture of the brownies.
My aunt has always told me to put leftover coffee in anything chocolate that you make, because it makes the chocolate flavor come out. So I didn't know that.
Richer. So I was like, I'm not spending $8-9 on a dozen eggs. So I went, and what's interesting is those things like egg beaters have egg whites in them. I'm like, okay, you've got half the egg. And yet you're still so much cheaper than buying a dozen eggs. I don't get it.
Well, the Winco finally ran out of the cheap eggs, because when I went there the other day, I bought 18 eggs, and it was $14 because of the the avian flu and stuff like that. It's just like.
Oh, who just said it? Yeah, Kitty Kisses. Chili helps the bring out chocolate. chocolate also helps bring out chili. So when I make a big pot of chili, I always put some cocoa powder in it, unsweetened cocoa powder, to bring the flavor out of the chili. Makes it richer and awesome.
Yeah, so that's all that I've been doing. What about you, Johnie?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Mm-mm. Same old thing.
You're not crafting or anything like me?
Nope. Watching camel videos and monkey videos, that's about it.
Oh.
This is why I say this. You have to find the things you can do to keep your peace. The world is trying our patience right now. It is on the very last nerve. We know it is. I said last time, stop sending me stories of not Anderson Cooper. I don't really care what's happening every single day. Unless it got something to do with camels or golden snub-nosed monkeys, I don't give a shit. Thank you.
And
I mean,
that's
they were saying in a poll, 70% of Americans think that Putin is the aggressor and the enemy. So, what happened Friday in the Oval Office went against 70% of Americans.
And to Johnny's point, that's why I've been telling people, do not email me to do grand tableaus on people. I'm done. I need a break. I need a mental break, because I cannot believe that because of incompetence, complacency, cowardice, whatever the fuck you want to call it, we're back here again. We're back here again. And we saw him do it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I am, when I tell you I'm on my last fucking nerve, I am on my last fucking nerve, so I need a break. Stop emailing me to do grand tableaus on Zelensky. And no, I'm in Donnaleigh land right now. It's cheaper than therapy. Okay. So especially with all the shit going on, people losing their jobs. For those of you that don't know, I work for the Department of Defense, so I have my own stresses going on at the moment. I'm sure everybody does. It's impacting everybody, not just federal workers, so give me a fucking break for 10 minutes, please. So, yeah. So that's
just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean we don't have the same situations going on you guys do. So, if I can talk on a different subject for a second, I do readings, JenLynTarot.com, to schedule readings with me, or reading/healing sessions. And I offer phone readings if you're in the US, or Skype, and Skype for if you're in the US or international. Well, Skype, Beth just notified me, Skype's going away May 5th. So anyone that normally I do Skype readings for, because I have repeat clients, I'm trying to figure out what platform I'm going to go to. There's many out there. Don't start throwing them at me. Zoom, all those guys I know. Teams is replacing Skype. I'm trying to figure out which one will work for me and how I do readings the best. And then I'm going to have to update my website. But for now, it still has Skype as an option for me. I have openings in April and May, but anything scheduled after May 5th will have to probably change to a different platform, because Skype goes away May 5th. And if you would like to schedule to attend my Healing Energy Seminar in Portland, Oregon in October, JenLynTarot.com, click on the Seminars tab. I'm allowing people to register for that till like June 1st, something like that. So get scheduled if you want to come. And I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to fly across with the FAA and the situation it is, or if I'm going to train across. I actually was pricing out train tickets.
Would not step foot in a goddamn aircraft right now. Not with planes falling out of the sky. 9 in a month? 9 in a month.
I love train travel. So, I used to have to travel on Amtrak all the time with work when I lived in New York. I used to go to DC every other week a lot of times. And so I'm thinking about taking, it'll take me 2 days to get out there instead of 4 hours, right? But could be a nice little vacation too, sitting mindlessly on a train. enjoying the view, seeing our country.
Good time to read a book.
Read a book, relax, enjoy, do a Johnie and just stare out the window for hours.
So, and you got anything, Johnie? No?
Tarot class starts, pull up the calendar. April the 6th, it is beginner's class. It goes for 6 weeks. It's recorded on Zoom. It's $100. If you want to save a spot in the beginner's class, you email me, tarotsapprentice@gmail.com, and I will save you a spot. You're not paying for it right now. You're just reserving the spot.
Thank you, Robin.
So those that are wanting to go hang out with Johnie, go hang out with Johnie at his tarot class in April.
Go reserve your spot. I hear, I read for people all the time that have taken Johnie's class and they love it. Get a lot out of it. And some take it a second time. It helps the repetition, getting it in the head.
So anyways, well, let's start off with the readings if you guys are okay with that. Got a question from Lori. She texted me. She wants to see what the economy is looking like. I'm going to do a box spread and go out 3 months because she didn't give a time frame. So
I've been looking at it a little bit when I've been doing personal readings, and I keep getting the housing market's going to be wonky, with the tariffs on timber out of Canada. That's going to drive housing prices up. It's going to affect the builders and everybody. Where he says 3 months is great. It's interesting because with everybody afraid to get on airplanes, plane tickets have been dropping, but gas prices are going up. So I don't even think that'll hold. It's wonky.
People are going to be eating their shoes is how bad it's going to get.
It's wonky. And we're not going to get an accurate unemployment rate when they're causing a lot of the unemployment. We're not going to get a new jobs creation under Trump. He never creates jobs.
Nope, he's going to control that narrative. Again, tapar el sol con un dedo, trying to cover up the truth that everybody can see. If we don't say it, it's not real. Meanwhile, unemployment is going to be through the people can see it. You can deny it all you want,
I'm just getting up, down, up, down. April looks really rough. Can't see what's going on. Changes in May. I get a spike in the economy in June, and then here we go down. Looking rough. Next year, new jobs look awesome. Going into the end of the year, going into 2026, but there's a lot of people that are suffering, rough and suffering. I'm just getting it's like a roller coaster.
I believe I did a reading today naturally, because that's when I recorded everything. There are time periods, I think, that need to be focused on from a retail perspective. June is when all the kids got out of school. A lot more money is spent then, especially if you live anywhere near the water. There's a lot more vacation things, a lot more fast food is bought, a lot more clothes are bought going towards the end of summer because that's back to school season. Then that runs into the October, November, December, which is a completely different type of season because that's Christmas. And so those are the two sort of pillars for the retail world anyway. But I get Six of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, the first two cards. So it's not horrible. I only ask, though, for the first or the next couple of months. And so what I think is happening, though, because this flew out with the Two of Swords. You have a lot of back and forth going on right now with this person believes they're in charge and that person believes they're in charge and that kind of thing. That kind of chaos and disorganization is keeping something from falling over. The moment you figure out how to mess it up, then that's when other things come about. But I'll focus on the Star and the Wheel of Fortune, at least for the next couple of months. It's positive. But I think that's based upon disorganization and not necessarily organization. So it ends in the Knight of Swords. So far, so good for the next couple of months. But outside of that, with the June and December season, it's going to be a completely different story, I think.
I get that over the next 3 months, not looking good. People are not shopping. Economic health and growth is cut off. There's no growth. The markets are shaky. It could have something to do with the stupid freaking tariffs. Right here. Tariffs. That's having this effect. This is the economy right in the middle. Shopping, trade, commerce, independence. Small businesses suffer here. See that? There's delays here in the economy, and then the growth is cut off. It doesn't grow. Do you see what I'm saying? People aren't shopping. There's something here that could be in regards to the tariffs, because this is a penalty on people that shop. Do you see that? So there's a lot of paperwork that he's doing for businesses. See, because it goes back to him, that penalize people. That's a business penalty, a penalty at payment when you're shopping for something and people just don't shop. Do you see what I'm saying? So it could be literally, if we're looking at literal stuff, it could be things like wood with the tree down here. I don't know if you can see that. It could be stuff with computers with the stars right here. It could be things with phones with the birds down here. It's affecting everything. It's like you're starting to see stalls with the mountain. And he's going to come out and just tell you, no. What you see is not what you're really seeing. So he's going to paint himself as successful and this is going great and yada, yada, yada. But the center of the reed is the cross, the fish, and the scythe. People are suffering. The market suffers. Shopping suffers. People aren't shopping. You can't afford it. Do you see what I'm saying? So also shopping for healthcare, because the tree is here.
Yeah, because they're trying to kill Medicaid.
The tree is here, followed by the scythe. Do you see what I'm saying? This ain't good. And then the mountain knights over to the scythe. It's almost like if I had to put those two together, mountain and scythe, it would be like an earthquake. Not a literal earthquake, like a natural disaster, but I'm talking like an economic earthquake where there's going to be the big boom and then it has the ripple effects. I'm seeing healthcare.
And aftershocks.
Yeah, the aftershocks. I'm seeing healthcare. I'm seeing shopping. I'm seeing regular consumer goods, telephones, electronics, anything as simple as even freaking gardening tools. This right here would be scissors, knives, silverware. didn't he just put a thing on steel?
Yep.
Everything is going to be impacted. Prices are people are not going to be able to afford, so that's over the next 3 months. So it might be that we're starting to see it, so have fun squaring with that one, MAGA. When you're paying $85 for a pack of eggs and $600 to fill up a quarter of your tank, tell me how great it is that Trump is making America great again. Like these people will just bullshit themselves either than admit that they got freaking conned by a con man.
I feel like homelessness is going to go on the increase too. People laid off and cutting Medicaid and disability. People on disability that depend on that to keep their rent and everything. I feel like there'll be a spike in homelessness too. So
let's look at the housing market. Yeah, people in nursing homes are going to get kicked out if they cut away Medicare and Medicaid, because that's what kept my mom in the nursing home was Medicare, Medicaid, and her Social Security. So have fun moving your mom into your garage or your elderly parents with another mouth to feed and your pay not going up and you just lost your job.
hey, Peggy, Hope Brokers, Becca and I both have our sweatshirts on tonight.
It's cold here today, you guys. It's like winter finally freaking showed up in the middle of March.
Oh, man, you talk about weather weirdness. We were like minus 10 degrees, sub-zero for a week. Then we warmed up and it like got in the 50s. Like I took Lucy out for a little walk and it was semi-warm. And then all these windstorms came in. Now we're like cold back into the 20s again. I'm like, what is going on with the weather?
We're in the 50s today, and it was supposed to rain yesterday. It didn't. I was so mad. And then it was supposed to rain today. It didn't. I was so mad. And now the weather is saying that it's supposed to rain Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm like, if it passes me again, I swear to the gods, I'm going to throw a fit.
Housing markets constricted, people hanging on, protecting what they've got, probably not even doing repairs that they need to because they can't get those supplies and stuff.
If you need a new roof, be prepared to pay 3 times what it's supposed to cost because of tariffs.
Yeah, like finding contractors will be constricted. Like good luck finding somebody to fix something if you need help. I do get things pick up a little bit in the housing market towards the end of the year, but it's chaos. It's up and down, up and down, up and down.
What'd you get, Johnie?
I say, if you're looking for a house, this is one of those times where you have to pay close attention. It's a timing issue, I think, with the Wheel of Fortune. The warning card is justice. So one little caveat too, Elizabeth Warren was interviewing one of the people from the hijacking. And she said, is there any oversight in the banks right now? And he said, no. So keep that in mind too, that you're dealing not just with interest here and this there, you're also dealing with banks that can now do what they want to do. And so, you know, the old Freddie Mac and Sally Mae and that old type of thing happening again. But there is some growth potential here with the Empress card. It's shop around. Credit unions or something like that, that's somebody that can get you a better deal that's not connected to Chase Bank and Wells Fargo type of thing, may be a better way to go. The Six of Swords, this is a transition, but it is very rough. And so shop around, pay attention to what the market is doing, because it will go up and down and affects changes at different points in the calendar. So do your research.
We'll probably see an increase in foreclosures next year because of that. Hey, Adam.
The baby's screaming. I see that there's programs that for new home buyers that are being affected because the child is here. So, or younger people, you know, being affected by the market. It's like the aid is not there. There's something in the institution itself, the government, that is causing a lot of chaos and confusion and manipulation and delays. So, and it comes through some sort of an order. So I don't know what the hell this dumbass fucker is going to do next. Like when he sees how much he's breaking everything, he's just going to try to executive order his way out of it, everything. That's a solution. Just executive order your way out of everything, even though it's as good as the paper he uses to wipe his ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the law. You know, it needs to go through the proper channels, meaning Congress. What's also interesting here, foreign investors are going to have a good time. People from abroad, the ship, the sun, and the letter, people from abroad, a lot of foreign investors might come in and snatch stuff up. But it's almost like they're manipulating it in their favor to where they have the energy and the victory and the success. Does that make sense? But what's also interesting, there is an ending and a transition, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Like tickets to the park. I don't know if you can see this. This right here, that's tickets to the park. This is longevity. Followed by this. That's not good. And then there's your transition. And then there's a new person here. That's all I'm going to say. Even though this reading was about the market, I'm just letting you know that's there. We can only get so lucky, right? I'm not above. Oh, I wish
I check the obituaries every day.
I'm not Mother Teresa. Let that fucker die a million times over. I don't care. So I can go piss on his grave. Like, I'm over it. So Mom wanted to know about the State of the Union.
He's doing some speech. Is it Tuesday night or something? They aren't calling it State of the Union. They're just Trump speech.
I'm just letting you all know. Don't send me the video. I don't want to hear his voice. I don't want to see his orange fucking face. I don't care. Like, unless it's the obituary, I don't care at this point. Like, Johnie, did you see the video of the lady I sent you at the Super Bowl doing voodoo to that guy? That's gonna be me. That's gonna be
at the Super Bowl. She's doing it.
She was at the Super Bowl and she had a puppet of Maloney, the quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, and she was just sitting there just stabbing the shit out of it with a needle, rocking back and forth. I'm like, "Ooh, girl, that's nasty business." I'm like, "But thank you for the idea, because I'm about to get one of the freaking orange turd and just because I can't take it no more." but yeah, Mom wants to hear about the State of the Union, but I I don't know. You're saying he's doing a speech?
Tuesday night. I think it's Tuesday night. Y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. So what's he going to say in the speech? I guess.
It'll all be lies. He wants the Pulitzer Prize, you know, like or not Pulitzer Prize. What do you call it that Obama got? Nobel Peace Prize. He wants that. Dude, you ain't gonna get it when you're not partnering with Zelensky. That committee's not gonna give it to you for partnering with Putin. Dan, thank you, Roberta. I missed that one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Boycott it. Don't even fucking give him the ratings.
You know, intention is everything. So when you poop in your toilet, just look at it and say, that's Trump, and flush. Mm-hmm. Manifest that, flushing him away. I tell you, but pardon my language, but that whole presser, thank you, Mr. Dill, that whole presser was small dick energy all over the place. They're just gaming up the little putzes.
I only watched a couple minutes and I had to turn it off because my blood was boiling. My fucking blood was boiling. How did we allow ourselves to get here again by not holding that man accountable is beyond me. You had 4 years. 4 years. And it was handed to you on a silver fucking platter by the committee. And, oh, well, you know, I'm just too timid for the moment.
Yeah, Musk trying to do away with Verizon's contract so he can pick it up for Starlink.
Mm-mm. What'd you get, Johnny?
I get that there are, as far I put one on the speech and then one on the actual State of the Union. The one on the speech is 9 of Pentacles, so he's going to tell you how everything is perfectly okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not just that, but that they're doing better than they've ever been. The 9 of Pentacles is security, but not security, but it's longevity. It's like you've gotten here. This is the retirement card too, if you will. So everything is peachy. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful, because why would you say otherwise, right? But the 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands, there's like the shoe to drop still. But we all see that coming, so that's, you know, not surprising. But with the 7 of Pentacles, you have to worry about your roots too. And something that you have planted will now bear its fruit. So you can say everything is fantastic, but we're going to see. This is not one of them things where you have to look up what's the GDP and what's this. And you're going to feel that. You're going to see that. You're going to notice that. You're going to go into the store and things are $10 more than they used to be. And there's no more dollar stores, or there's a lot more dollar stores because people can't afford nothing else, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there is the thing coming that we know it's coming. The 3 of Wands, this is anticipation. And so you know what's going to happen. You don't need cards for it. You just need eyes and 2 minutes in the news cycle, then get back out of it and find you a camel video somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like his inauguration, look for the oligarchs that are sitting there, you know, that he invites to come in and, oh, you know, only we can fix it. He's going to be weaving a lot, very unbalanced. Watch for his...
Somebody please,
him swaying
listening right now, push him over. Push him over, please.
Yeah.
Just go over there.
His balance is going to be off, so you're going to see him like swaying around and stuff. He's going to talk about all the thievery and corruption with Kamala in the previous administration, and look, we're securing everything. He's going to be very smug, but he's going to be erratic, so he's going to be all over the place. But everything, like, he's going to talk about all the jobs he's creating. what a strength they have in the world now. Only I can fix it. It's a power speech. He's going to try to come off strong and defend everything that he's put in, but it's going to be delusional. Details will be lacking. So no transparency, no details about anything.
What is he going to say? He's going to bring a bunch of criticism and abuse, and it's going to be a display of his abuse of power, whip and bear. As if you needed more evidence, as if you needed any more. Okay? It's the key and the whip. So there's going to be significant criticisms of anybody, everybody, just
anybody that doesn't worship him.
Then the birds, what he's actually going to say, followed by the bear and the storks. Whip and bear, an abuse of power. And also that he can do it because he has the authority to do it. Bear and storks. So he's the increase in the executive, the increase of his power. He's going to talk about his increase in power and basically giving you the blueprint on how he plans to abuse his power. I'm not going to be watching. We know he cares about ratings. Turn that shit on the HGTV channel or the Food Network, or go on YouTube like Johnie and watch camels eating freaking cactus, No, I can't. And yes, I am well aware of what happened election night and what happened previous to it. I have eyes, I have ears. I heard what I heard. I saw what I saw.
By golly.
So Marco Rubio, I'm seeing, according to comments in the community page, correct me if I'm wrong, because like I said, I've been living in Delulu land, did not look comfortable the other day.
He was just staring, and they made fun of that on SNL last night too. He was just staring like catatonic. But then afterwards, he released a statement supportive of Trump and what he did. But he looked petrified at what was happening in that meeting.
How quickly these motherfuckers are willing to sell out the ounce of integrity that they have to suck up to a wannabe dictator with the intelligence of a rock with brain worms. It is disgusting. I mean, it's like they have no shame. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I couldn't do that. It's
the families. They're hurting their own families.
You are now a pariah. Anybody that comes around that man is a fucking pariah. And like Johnie said, like lemmings, they just keep going. So at what meeting was that, Jen? The one with Zelensky?
He was sitting there next to Vance and just staring straight ahead and just looking like wide-eyed, like he wasn't making eye contact with anybody. He was just wide-eyed and catatonic.
What was he thinking about that meeting? I hear you, prolific. I can't. This is too fucking...
There's a small part of him. I'm saying small part, mind you. So that's not in the card. There's a small part of him that feels as though it wasn't fair. The justice card is a balance of your relationships with other people. So your compromises, your 50-50s, you're balancing things out and making things fair. 7 of Wands is the card of defense and defending yourself and your ideas and your beliefs and these type of things. Up to date, this is the thing that makes me just, I can't. I really can't. Felonious, I can't. You never mind. No going through all that, but there's some change. He was hoping for some sort of change, that something would go differently than it was. Listen, you sat there, you said nothing, so you were complicit. We know what it was. It wasn't a meeting. They wanted basically to provoke him. That way they can say, oh, you're the irrational one, the deal is off, type of thing. And you sat there. You were in the room and you were a part of it. Whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. You said nothing at the time where you should have said everything. Integrity at the end of the day is all you got. And you lost it. Well, you've been lost it, but you definitely lost it right there.
He looked at it as an attack. He's also sitting there thinking how Trump lost the election, that it was stolen from a woman, that he knows about what was done, like a lot of votes, and that there was foreign help with that. And he's at the root of this. He's wondering if anyone's looking into that. So he's sitting there thinking about this MFer lost the election. That's what he's thinking about. His victory was not there. His victory, he didn't win, and he's just stirring up chaos. He's sitting there thinking a lot of people are not going to accept this. So he knew as it's happening, like a lot of people watching this are not going to accept this, whether leaders or Americans. A lot of people are not.
Embarrassment. Did you see the headlines on that British newspaper that usually sides with Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
The headlines, even they were fucking appalled. Bootlickers in the UK of Donald Trump were even appalled at the shit show that they staged to bully Zelensky. They looked like a bunch of weak, small-dicked, brainless, fucking cowardly men is what they looked like. But that was for the audience. That performance was for the audience of Putin and nobody else.
And nobody else, making fun of him not wearing a suit. Hello, his country's at war. You're a dictator. You haven't had an election. Our country's at war. How are they going to vote?
You're gonna criticize Zelensky when you can't even blend your own fucking orange makeup?
Yes.
You got white around your eyeballs and white ears and white fucking hairline.
You can't even change your own diaper. How many times did he sit there and shit his diapers while he's sitting next to Zelensky?
When you can't even blend your fucking makeup with the shit you just scooped out of your goddamn diaper. Get out of here with that bullshit. I mean, I can't. So what was he thinking? He was thinking that there's a very important woman that's going to be delivering news or bringing forth something official. I'm not saying it's Kamala Harris or if it's somebody from abroad. Tower woman and writer. There is a woman in government or that has some sort of legislative governmental authority that's bringing Zelensky news, or she's bringing forward news. He had an important meeting with the entourage about the shit show that was the meeting. And he was shocked by the abundance of self-serving opportunity and he's shocked at the risk that these clowns are taking. He doesn't have the answer and the government does not have the answer. Tower, Key, and Scythe, they're not going to budge on what they're doing for aid. That woman is going to have to come forward and announce that she's providing assistance in some way, shape, or form, but she has an abundance of support, the woman that's going to come out and make a statement. And then there's news coming forward about the administration and what they're doing and the laughing stock that they are. This is a card of joke.
Everybody's laughing at him on the internet.
The laughing stock that they are. I don't see that he's embarrassed. I don't see that he has regrets. I'm just seeing that what was happening in the moment and what he was thinking about in that meeting. He was also thinking about he needs to cut and get out. Tower, Scythe, Clover, and Ryder. He needs to cut where he's at for his own opportunities and just run away. So I wouldn't be surprised if after that shit get worse, that he's going to be like, I'm out, I'm out of here.
The only person applauding the whole thing was Putin and the Russia news channel.
Yep. He's looking also, I don't know what Marco Rubio, because I see the Department of Homes. I don't know if that's Department of Homeland Security. What is he? What is his position?
I forgot what his. Isn't he the chief of staff or something?
I see Tower and House, so that could be like the Department of the Homeland.
That's Christy Nolan for security. Maybe he's like Interior or something.
He's the Secretary of State, so he's the one that's supposed to handle diplomacy with foreign countries.
Okay, so then who's the woman? Because there's Tower and House. That's like the Department of the Home, or something like that. But there's a woman there, so I don't know if that's Tulsi Gabbard or somebody else. But he recognizes the shit show that he's in and the danger that he's in, and I would not be surprised if he's looking for an out or will be looking for an out soon. Because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 action cards in the corners. So I don't think he's going to last the whole 4 years.
Probably Tulsi Gabbard, yeah.
Or Kristen Noem, one of them.
Yeah, Kristen Noem is Interior, Department of Interior, they're saying.
There's a woman here that's going to get cut off too in the administration. Woman is knighting to Scythe. But yeah,
maybe is the woman that's chief of staff. She's looked mortified a few times at pressers he's done. So I forget her name.
Why are you mortified?
You knew who he was. Thank you, Johnny. You knew who he was. You saw him the last time. He's been telling you this whole entire time what he plans on doing. You know who he's loyal to, and it sure as fuck ain't our country.
I'm gonna go move with Oscar the Grouch and be surprised that he's in a garbage can. Yeah. That's where he's always been.
Yeah.
Susie Wiles is his chief of staff.
Well, there's a woman here. I don't know who it is. There's a woman here too they're probably talking about the amount of danger that this administration is, an abundance of danger, and he's looking for an out, and there's a woman around him that's also possibly looking for an out as well. So, and there's also going to be a lot of whistleblowers too. Woman, birds, fish. So it could be a lot of women in the administration or around the administration that are going to be whistleblowing. But I'm with Johnny. Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? Why are you shocked? Why are you horrified? You knew what you were signing up for. You knew the guy is a freaking huckster, a con man, a wannabe gangster. Why are you surprised?
My favorite thing was when they ran the video of Trump licking Musk's feet, and they said, of course, it was AI generated because Musk had 2 left feet, but they were broadcast it at the Department of Housing.
Yeah.
On the big screens as we walked in, there's Trump licking Elon's.
I sent you that because that was rolling all over TikTok. Somebody generated an AI video of Donald Trump licking Elon Musk's feet, like not just licking him, like making out like a fetish. And then there was another one floating around TikTok right after that meeting with Zelensky, where Zelensky just freaking knocks him the fuck out, and he goes, and then slides down his chair. I'm like, how I wish that would have been true and that would have happened. I would have
somebody needs to hack into like Fox News during his speech Tuesday night and broadcast that the whole time he's talking.
I couldn't stop watching that AI video because I was like, I know didn't happen. It's AI generated, but I would give my left kidney for that to be real. Just knock him the fuck out. Because he's a bully. All you got to do is hit him one time, and that's it. That's it. So
little bitty hands. He can't hit.
Everybody's asking about when Trump is gonna die. So I don't know, you guys. Hold on. I'm going through the questions real quick. Give me a second.
He has a purpose. He'll die when his purpose is complete. It's a horrible purpose, but it's still a purpose.
Yeah, don't get me started, Johnny. Because I will go on a rant and it won't be pretty. What were the Republicans thinking of this shit show, that meeting?
Because it was really weird. Before Zelensky went there, he was at the Capitol and he was meeting with different, representatives and senators. And there's a picture of Amy Klobuchar, Democrat, and Lindsey Graham, and somebody else was in it with Zelensky. And Lindsey was like, we're with Ukraine. And then after the meeting, he is like, oh, Trump needed to do that, blah, blah. Like he's right back in Trump's corner. So he's like one way and then 180 degrees the other way. It's like
Lindsey Graham. Thing about these sniveling motherfuckers. They're going to go in front of the TV and speak with a forked tongue and speak out of both sides of their mouths. And behind closed doors, they're going to be shitting their pants in the freaking broom closet. Oh my God, I can't do this.
Well, the devil just fell out. Let's see.
I asked Republicans overall. I got nothing but majors here too.
Oh, is that bad?
It's a very big energy. There's a major on the bottom too. Temperance, Lovers, Star, Sun, Death. They're all positive cards too. And I've said this in a couple of videos today, so it feels like I've been saying it all day because I guess I have. Republicans at this point are a disease.
Mm-hmm.
They are very dangerous for the world because they also are sitting back, either enjoying the results of what he does, or just to show that there is, because nothing right now is affecting them. They don't have to go to the town halls. You can complain all you want to. But are you going to unseat them? Are you going to take them out of office? And you're probably not, because things are jerry-rigged and blah, 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 blah. So they're living high on the hog. They don't really care at this moment. There's a Star, the Lovers, and the Sun card. Always beware of change if you are not prepared to face change. But right now, they're fine because nothing is affecting. They're not Zelensky. They don't need foreign aid. They've taken our money, so they don't really need money from anywhere else. So they're all right.
You will soon when this dumbass crashes the economy. You will soon. You will very soon. Took him 3 years to do it last time because of a pandemic. He's on track to crash it in less than a year this time.
On track to crash it in a couple of months. A lot of them are laying low. It's like they're seeing this image of strength is a betrayal to America, and a lot of Americans see it that way. So they're not sure like what to do. And they think a lot of Americans are like moving away from Trump's agenda. So they're anxious, but they're partnering with his message. So as long as he can get away with it and stay on higher ground, they're going to be right there trying to push through his agenda. And a lot of them are corrupted by Russia. So they're burdened by money. They're burdened by votes. They're burdened by money. I got to follow a question from Beth Cat on this.
I get that they're a bunch of bootlickers for show, but their loyalties remain to Ukraine, even though they're not saying it. Even though they're not saying it, which you're the legislative body. It's on you to write the laws. And this orange clown just declared himself king and said, I don't need the Congress. I'm going to do everything via executive order. And only I and the AG decide what the law is. Fuck Congress. So why are you there? Why are we paying you? Why are we paying you our tax dollars? Why do you get the privilege of not only enjoying your salary, but also enjoying the proxy to power and big influence? I'm talking money and stocks, because nobody goes to Congress and walks out poor. They're all fucking rich because of insider trading. Okay, so why are you needed? Why do you need that cushy lifestyle? According to him, he's the one that makes the laws, not you. Do you see what I'm saying?
He's the only one that can interpret the laws, him and Pam Bondi, his AG.
No, so why are you there? Go take a regular job like the rest of us without proxy to stocks and influence, and let's see how well you do. Put that shoe on the other foot.
He'll pull a Netanyahu and try and do away with the Supreme Court. Yeah. Because he's already did an executive order stating I'm the only one that can interpret the law, me and my AG. So he'll try to do away with the Supreme Court.
Can't read. We know this motherfucker can't read. We know that. But he's going to interpret the law. Remember, the first time in his presidency, there was news reports everywhere that his daily briefings were compounded down to one paragraph. So how is this stupid motherfucker going to sit there and interpret volumes and libraries full of freaking American law when you can't even
usually a picture at that?
You know, I'm sorry that I'm cursing and just going on rant. I told you all I'm in a bad mood today. Like I can't with this shit show. I can't.
He took his boxes back that were taken from him by the FBI. He took them back and put them on, made a big show of loading them on the plane, sending them back to Mar-a-Lago. It's the same thing with Zelensky. Zelensky stood up to him before, wouldn't do the quid pro quo over Hunter Biden. He can't stand it when people stand up to him. So he's got to be like a big old baby. Okay, fine. I'll take my damn boxes back.
This is what you get for not holding me accountable for breaking and getting in trouble for espionage. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go put it in Mar-a-Lago. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put him as fucking coupons right when you walk in the fucking door. You want that classified information, you're going to have to pay me $25,000. Why? Because I can do whatever the hell I want. The Supreme Court said that I am the king of the land.
Yeah.
And I can just say that's official business. My business. You know, I mean, I can't. I have to take a break for a minute. Jenny, go ahead with Beth's questions. I got to get the baby.
Okay. So, Johnny, the Republicans are walking out of a lot of their town halls now because they're getting the crap beat out of them, right? Are they walking out because they know they don't need the votes because, you know, Elon and Trump rig elections? Are they walking out because they know they don't need their constituents' votes? Because elections can be rigged. Or are they walking out because they're embarrassed and they can't answer the questions?
Or a little of both. Yeah, 9 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. There's a defending against the pressure. They can't explain what just happened to their constituents. They are not sad over it or anything. They just can't defend it. It wasn't their idea necessarily, so, but
they can't justify it.
No. How can you? I mean, one of them, mind you, the one in Alaska, said to the people's face, because they were like, what are you going to do about Elon? Mind you, they did not say the name Trump. What are you going to do about Elon? And he said there has to be cuts. So nothing. There has to be cuts. Okay, go right ahead. They can't justify.
They're looking at their victories here in the government, and what's going on with Russia and the White House, and how fast everything is moving, and they think that's good news. But why are they walking out? They don't know what to say to people that are suffering. They don't know their burden to answer it. They can't justify it. I think they also know that someone would fix their votes for them if they needed it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of both. So the budget that got approved by the House, which cuts Medicaid and many things, will the Senate pass it? You're welcome, Beth Captain.
There might be a change to it, but I think so. There's the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is decisions that need to be made, but people are sitting on their hands because they're trying to maybe mitigate some of the fallout or something like that. But the Knight of Cups is there's okay, let's say if it passes, but they make some sort of change. The change is cosmetic. The Knight of Cups is flashy. It's pretty. It's not deep at all. So if they were to say there's like a 1% cut here and a 2% cut there, and there's a change over here and a change over there, look deeper than that. Look at the details of something, because is it 1% per day, or like there's something else to it, to where it's meant to look pretty. They're polishing the turd, basically. And so it's still horrible, it's still bad, but they're going to make it try to look a little prettier than it actually is. But it's with the King of Pentacles, I think so.
It's interesting. Like there's something they're going to have to walk away from. So I feel like there's something that'll have to be taken out. That they're going to have to fight for this budget, because there's things in it that are pushing too far and not practical. It wouldn't surprise me if there's not 3 people that backstab on this, that vote against it. So they have to revisit it. They have to fix something in it, and the verbiage, reduce, ease the cuts a little bit, revisit it. It's kind of like they know Trump and douche doge, we'll take care of the rest of it anyway. So the details don't really matter that much. Hi, Miss Braxy. Tall girl. Miss Braxy.
I've been loving up on her so much because, like I said, I'm in a bad mood, y'all. I'm like, come here, teddy bear. Come here. So you guys read on the town halls?
Town halls, and also the budget. Would it get passed by the Senate?
But you got
something I get something will be changed or cut from it to try to ease it because it's cutting too much too fast.
The governor of, was it Maine or Maryland, that said, we're not going to pay you federal, we're going to take away federal taxes.
That's my next question I was going to ask you. Can we read on? Because I'm like, yes, come on, let's have more blue governors do that.
Where I'm like, all blue states band together and say, right here, let's
we're going to keep, if you don't give us our federal funding, we're going to keep them in state, which is what I want to do. I've been saying I'm going to file an extension. I don't want to give these guys a penny towards their salaries or anything else. I don't want to give them a penny. Keep it in state.
Let all the red states go belly up. And then on top of that, all the federal workers that he's laying off, a lot of those are in red states. All those people that got laid off from the IRS, that's in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's in Oklahoma.
Even the Virginia governor said he was, the Republican said he was okay with all those cuts, and it's affecting all the workers there around DC. So he's okay with that?
Let's ask, will the blue states withhold federal taxes?
Will more governors join the Maine governor? I was like, yes.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah,
well, Governor Newsom was the first one that said it months. Yeah, I fed the baby months before this whole situation started, and then the fire started in California, and that conversation kind of went belly up. But Gavin Newsom was like, no, we ain't playing. And he had that meeting with all the other governors in all the blue states. And I think part of the plan was withholding federal taxes. I say fucking sink them. Fucking sink them.
These same 3 cards keep coming up all day. I feel like I need to change cards or something.
So will the blue states
switch it out for a minute? Well, more blue states.
The question is, Joe G. Karin Conroy is reposting the questions, but will the blue states withhold federal taxes?
Federal income taxes.
Mm-hmm.
There's some alliance here. The Star and the Lovers card. There is some alliance there. So this does spread. This does. There's some people to link up with there. This is like the tip of the iceberg type thing though. There's going to be a lot more protests. The 6 of Swords is transitioning through very rough waters to get to a different time, maybe a better time. And so I think with these in particular alliances, you see that that's the way they've always wanted secessions. And
Marjorie Taylor
Greene was supposed to be the red states that were doing the secessions. But it's like, it seems like the mentality is, okay, he is not with us. He is supposed to be leading us. We have to do our own thing. And so this whole give all the power back to the states is coming back to roost. So there is some alliances here so that you can go and move to a different time or hopefully a better time. But there's more protest with this. So we're not probably just talking about, the tax money. We're talking about some other things. And maybe you get a lot of imports from other states or neighboring states or help from neighboring states. There is going to be more storms, more this, more that. And so people are less likely to cooperate with red states because you're the problem. You're the reason we're here. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more of that.
And Johnny, to your point, with Doge, who, by the way, is not a legal body of government, was never approved by the Congress, was never funded by the Congress. So really, it's made up. And they're running around firing all sorts of people illegally without authority. So if you're shrinking the government by getting rid of all these jobs, why the fuck do you need our federal taxes for anyways?
Who's it going to?
Why do you need it? Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, red states. You hate socialism so much. Here you go. We're cutting you off.
Yeah.
So
the worst thing they could do, which is the next thing they're going to try, is Social Security, because there's over 50 million people on Social Security. That will bring masses out. yeah, there's going to be more moving to that. I get there's a lot of change and a lot of support for that kind of like, oh, let's look at it differently. Yes, they are going to work together on this. Hit them in the pocketbook. Lot of hope for this. And legally, it will send a clear message that'll create a lot of anxiety. So it'll force change. This is going to grow. There'll be more partnering together for it because of the corruption in this regimes. They're going to go after the money. And I have no problem writing a bigger check to the state of Illinois.
I am not ignorant to not know that there are blue people in red states, and there are red people in these red states that do not support any of this shit. I understand that.
There's red people in my blue state.
I completely understand that. However, you want to play? We're done bringing a fucking pillow to a freaking knife fight. Enough. I get, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I get the fish, the child, and the lilies. Yes, it might take some time, and we're at the early stages of it, at the very beginning of it. So buckle up, Buttercup. All this talk about we don't need socialism, that shit's about to land right on your fucking doorstep. Have fun with that one. When the majority of your constituents don't have Medicare, don't have Social Security, lost their jobs, what are you going to come after next? Unemployment benefits to get the corporations off the hook? So now you have an entire states full of broke, angry, hungry, pissed off people. Start putting heads on spikes. That's all I'm saying. Bring out the guillotine, because it's not sustainable. This is not sustainable in any stretch of the imagination. So on with that, we talked about the economy. We talked about the blue states withholding money. I guess we can segue into, because you and I talked about this, Jennie. Do not expect to get clear jobs reports. I would trust gas station sushi before I trust any report that comes out of the Trump administration that says jobs are great. Okay? Like that's a fact.
Everything he said is a lie. How much money was provided to Ukraine? He lied about that even. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a check was written. It was supplied through weapons that we needed rid of anyway. So it benefited our defense department to make some money off of getting rid of weapons through Ukraine.
Well, that's not the only thing. He wants those rare minerals that are in the Ukraine. That's this biggest thing that he wants.
Yep. Well, that's why he wants Greenland too, the minerals.
Mm-hmm. So we
minerals
know
worth anything though if people don't have money to buy.
That's what we were talking about on the phone the other day, Jen. Yep. You're going to suck everybody dry. How are the millionaires and billionaires going to keep money when nobody has the money to purchase your products? Yep. Or your services or your goods? And we all know that when poverty goes up, so does crime.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what's really interesting is one of the first things, like I've been laid off 3 times, right? When retail took a bloodbath in 2008 when the market crashed. One of the first things you let go of is technology. You make do with an older phone. You cancel your internet connection. You could go to the library or whatever to connect to the internet. I was lucky. I had a neighbor that let me tap into his Wi-Fi because I could pick it up in my house to job search. But when you're trying to hold down your expenses, when you've been laid off, technology is one of the first things you let go. It's like, you know what? That's fun, but so how are all these, Facebook, who the hell cares about Facebook when you're laid off, right?
Who cares about Facebook? Who cares?
Amazon.
Amazon. And here's another thing. When he shrinks the economy, good luck finding a job.
Yep.
Good luck finding a job. Even if it's in retail, good luck finding a job.
And most of those are closing down. Why? Because the economy is, especially for retail, has been going down for the past 20 years.
Yeah, since 2008, it's been tanking down since the Bush, linens and things and all those stores that used to exist that don't exist anymore.
Because all people can do now is clothes and food. It's like all of the extra stuff. There's one electronic store in all of the U.S. that is nationwide. That's Best Buy. Everything else is regional. You got Bob's Computers and all these type of things. Like it's going down and it's going to stay that way. It's probably getting worse under this fool. So,
I mean, Johnny, we're talking about a guy who has bankrupted every fucking company he's had.
Yes,
You bankrupt Bed Bath and Beyond. That was a huge one. That was a huge one because they had always been on the really high side of growth. When you bankrupt Walmart, is that coming? Is that what it's going to take? Bed Bath and Beyond was one of the biggest ones in the brick and mortar store.
Walmart will be fine. I did a reading today, and I said it like Target is in places where people want to shop at Target. Walmart is in places where people have to shop at Walmart. Walmart and dollar stores spring up like weeds the moment the economy tanks because that's what people can afford. You can buy actual groceries out of the Dollar Tree.
And Johnny, let me remind you that the CEO of Walmart had come out months ago and said prices are going to continue to go up, so get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty soon people will be, hunting for their own goddamn food if you're fortunate enough to be able to keep a roof over your head. So my next question, because we know the power of the purse, okay? Luigi taught us that. Merrick Garland couldn't get his shit together for 4 years, but all it took was calls from pissed off CEOs, and the DOJ was slamming that SOB with terrorism charges for inspiring people to go out and kill CEOs.
And then Musk goes and has his private security marshalized, had him sworn in as U.S. Marshal.
And then he was walking around with his child as his human shield. Okay, so do not tell me that the guillotines ain't fucking coming. You know what I mean? Like,
Lucy, you want to walk around on my head all day?
So my question is, will lawmakers start getting phone calls from the executives going, what the fuck? When their pocketbook starts, when the CEOs and corporate America, the people that pay these people to put these horrible policies in,
when they start hurting,
fuck you, and they start hurting, how soon will they get on the phone and call Republicans and Democrats too? Do something about this.
How soon will all these little oligarchs start panicking and trying to reverse?
I guess my question is, will they, and will it have any effect? Will the CEOs start calling lawmakers, and will it have any effect?
When they start having losses.
Because just remember, you guys, there's more of us than there are of them. And the only reason that they're there is because of our money.
Thank you, Rose.
And if you're looking for companies that you want to support, I'm telling you guys, Ben and Jerry's, even if you do ice cream, my doggy.
I can live off ice cream.
Braxy got doggy Ben and Jerry's at the dog store at Petco. They have Ben and Jerry's for dogs. It's peanut butter and carrot, and she loves it. And
Costco just raised their starting pay too.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we've been, I can't tell you the last time I've been, I told you January 21st to buy that book that came out, the Target exclusive. That's the last time I've been to Target. And you know me, Johnie, all I ever go to is Target, Winco, and Trader Joe's. Can't tell you the last time I was in Trader Joe's either.
Companies, Ten of Pentacles there. Yes, they will be communicating with the Republican regime. Four of Swords, there's the retreat, the pullback there, because, mind you, it's the same problem with anybody with this mindset. You're seeing the effects. Go to the core. Never mind the blemish, what's going on underneath. People are not pulling back from your company simply because they don't have enough money. There's a whole thing you got going on that you need to change and fix too. But that's a deeper issue, deeper problem, I suppose. But yes, the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant, yes, they will be communicating because they want some sort of manipulation. And there's the Ten of Swords, things get bad and worse at the same time. And so, yes, but woe is me.
And it's not just here. It's like, like Tesla is global. They're going to hurt not just in the US, they're going to hurt internationally.
There's companies there's people it's all over TikTok, Jen. People from abroad are standing in solidarity with people here in America and boycotting all these stores. They're like, no, we're standing in solidarity with America's because what you did over there is going to show up over here. And we say, hell no. So
different brands and things. It's like, this is a huge problem. The corruption. It's like there's an agreement in place for them to make steady money. And when that goes wah, 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 then they're going to move very quickly because they're hurting. They're going to move very quickly with new inspiration for Republicans. Like, you got to take action fast. They're not going to accept losses because the agreement is for them to have steady money. And if they don't have that steady money, they're going to have to rethink their agendas.
And yes, Winco is employee owned. That's part of the reason. Besides the prices being like, Johnie goes to Winco too. You can't beat the freaking prices at Winco. I mean, unless you go to Costco, but that's like bulk, but it's employee owned. So it's not like there's a corporate overlord, like at Walmart and stuff.
And we literally drive out of our way to go to Winco because it's worth it.
It's not like that. Like Johnie said, it's not the best shopping experience. Like, it's not like a pretty grocery store. It looks like a warehouse.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I don't give a shit. I walk around like this, got what I need. Because the price
the store is ugly. The product is still fresh and all that. So it's not like they got, bargain basement stuff. It's just ugly inside because it looks like a warehouse, but you can't beat the price at all. If you have a Winco anywhere near you, go
and
there.
the variety of stuff too, Johnie. Yeah. Like, I don't see how people still go to Vons and all that other stuff. It's like you're paying 4 or 5 times as much at a Vons than you are at Winco, which is literally right down the street. 3 stoplights away,
They don't take credit cards. Keep that in mind before you go in there. They don't take credit cards. So
cash only or debit card. But yes. Winco is a grocery store. I get that they're suffering. Their reputations are suffering. Their marketing is suffering. The propaganda is hurting them. They want answers, and they're going to be calling, yo, you need to do something because we're hurting. Do something, or we're not gonna fund your campaign again. Do something, or we're not gonna fund this little side project. Do something because it's hurting your stocks in our company. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah,
when they can't find people to advertise on their stuff,
or you're trying to advertise and people are saying no. No, we don't. We're voting with our pocketbooks. Because we went out and voted and we saw how that worked out because the son of a bitch was not held accountable. So he did, again, what he failed to do correctly in 2020 was to steal an election. And I'm not talking out of my ass. He has admitted it.
Yeah.
It came out of his mouth. He's admitted it. So, and that's the only time the son of a bitch tells the truth is when he's telling on himself and what he's done. You know, so now I guess we got our pocketbooks, you know, but it turns out that the border czar is going to Boston. If you have not been on Boston Talk on TikTok, y'all need a laugh. Go to Boston Talk. Okay, BOSTONTOK.
Isn't that funny?
It is the threats.
They came to Chicago, now they're going to Boston.
The veiled threats, the creativity behind the veiled threats, it's fucking chef's kiss, dude. Like, Boston is not fucking around. They're like, we've been doing this revolutionary shit since 1776. We'll throw the motherfucker in the harbor. Okay.
We'll have another tea party.
You know, now they're talking about throwing all the fucking Teslas in the fucking Boston Harbor. I'm like, oh my God, this is getting out of hand. But I guess the border czar is talking about going to Boston and bringing hell. And people in Boston are up in arms. And it's not just Boston. New York's joining in, Pennsylvania's joining in, Maryland's joining in, New Hampshire's joining in. The only one I think is staying out of it is like Maine or something, I think, or Vermont. No, I think Vermont's joining in. But all the surrounding states are like, we got your back. Where's the party? Who's driving? You know, like it's getting bad.
Yeah, those states are pretty close together. It's pretty easy. Either a train ride or a car ride. It's pretty easy to get from one to the next.
From one to the other. So, and what's funny is people are on there going, you know, because after the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, they're like, we burned down our own city for when we're celebrating. You don't want to fuck around. Like, that's not something to be proud of, but okay. You know, so
yeah, they laugh. They say they can't tell if the Eagles won or lost because they burned their city down for either.
Yeah. So my question is, how's the border czar going to be met in Boston? Because let me remind you, when they showed up here in LA, shit went down. Like, they were burning ice cars and everything over here in California. So I'm down for it.
He'll be protected, but if you need that kind of protection, there's something wrong. I can go to Boston and I ain't got to worry about it.
Nobody's gonna come trying to throw you in the harbor. Make you into chowder and throw you in the harbor.
I mean, I got enemies everywhere, but I wish you would. So it's there's the star card. So what I heard before I put the cards out is he's inoculated. He is safe. He is protected from the thing on the outside. But there's a tension, so they know where you are. It's when I heard he's safe, that means he's kind of been hidden, or you can drive him to the spot that he's supposed to go. He goes out of the car and into the building, and then out of the building and into the car. So he's not walking around getting a slice or nothing like that. But there's a tension here. Then there's the Ten of Swords as well, and then there's the Three of Cups. You have to worry about the groups. They don't look large, but they don't have to be. When you have even 8 people, but those 8 people are right here like they were when Marjorie Taylor Greene got her monkey ass shouted down in New York. So it's like, it's a whole different thing when you in a crowd of people and them crowd of people don't like you. And so there is something there about the public will find you. And so I don't think he's going to be, you know, annexed or anything, but I do believe he is going to have, or he or she, whoever it is going to have some sort of issue there. Your shining light, your attention, they will find you.
You know, dark night of the soul, when you go through some things, it's time to reflect a little bit, right, Johnny? Talk about this card, dark night of the soul.
There is your, now mind you, think you're safe, or you should be safe. Your 5 of Pentacles is your plight, your hardship, that it is supposed to be your safe harbor. but it is not, because you're going to be thrown out in the cold and people are going to find you, and then you're going to have nothing, and then you're going to be crippled, and you're going to be sick, you're going to be broke, and then, oh Lord.
Or you're going to be thrown into the harbor. I don't think this is going well for him. I think, boom, he's going to be caught off guard, and he could literally get thrown in the harbor. It's a big problem for him. I think he's going to go back somewhere where he's safe, like a red state.
What's around there that's red, Jen?
Well, you'd have to go south, like Virginia or somewhere, where
they don't even like him there.
Yeah,
maybe West Virginia might welcome him.
Maybe Texas, Florida,
and Texas has had it up to their last hair with the bullfuckery. Let me tell you.
Florida just got the Tate brothers from Romania. Even Ron DeSantis is like, we don't want them here.
Mm-hmm.
Traffickers, pedophiles.
And then the couch fucker got booed out of Vermont when he went skiing.
So
my favorite protest sign, he skis in jeans.
Oh my
and then they had to take Vance's family to an undisclosed location because he was threatened.
Yep. So
he skis in jeans.
That was in Vermont.
Yeah,
I saw it was all over TikTok. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna blast Zelensky. Then I'm gonna go to the land of Bernie Sanders for vacation. What an idiot!
I'm telling you, those people are dumb. So
it reminds me of eyebrows. What's that girl name? Sarah Hand Sanders, when she stood for years lying for that fool, and then everywhere she goes, they're like, "Excuse me, you got to get out." And then you can't even go to Cracker Barrel. You got to get out.
Yeah, and then she throws a fit. It's like, no, you're a disgusting, nasty person, and it's our business, and we can refuse you service. And you're making everybody in here uncomfortable. Get the fuck out. So, how is ICE and the borders are going to be met in Boston? The ring, the dog, the key, the moon, and the garden. A lot of commitment to people coming together to protect and honor their community. So a commitment to protect, significant honor in the community. The bullshit propaganda they're pushing, Boston is not going to let it fly. I will not be surprised if people are on their phones filming everything and putting it all over social media to let people know exactly what happened so that they don't get a chance to try to change the narrative. But I get the entire community and perhaps surrounding communities too, all coming together, committed to protecting and honoring their communities, their communities, their state where they live.
It's like a kid getting bullied in school. The best thing that can happen is for a bunch of other kids to surround them, to protect them. And that's what we have to do. We have to surround these communities.
Because there's more. What are they going to do? Arrest every single hundreds of thousands of protesters?
Yeah.
Really? Are you going to do that? And if you do, are you ready for the backlash? You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for that to go down on TikTok because I'm going to have my popcorn ready. So, alrighty. So the couch fucker getting booed out of.
That was the best. That was the best. Go Vermont. A little small state like Vermont can get the best of him. I love it.
Tiny little state. So the couch fucker went to Vermont to go skiing, got chased out of town. You couldn't go anywhere else. You had to go, like Jennie said, to the one state of Bernie Sanders, who Bernie Sanders is loved by the entire state, who is a proud Democratic socialist.
Progressive, a proud progressive. He's independent, actually. He just caucuses with the Dems.
You're going to go there.
You had to go there. You had to take your ass to a state like that. What an idiot.
So how is he feeling out of getting booed out?
It was kind of the equivalent of what they tried to do to Zelensky on Friday. Vermont did to the couch fucker.
Do you think it was a lazy boy? What kind of couch was it?
What's that, Johnny?
So what kind of couch was it? Do you think it was a lazy boy?
Sectional. It was a sectional. Hopefully it had like remember like the plastic wrap that the old people used to put, and you couldn't sit on the couch when it was hot because then you would
I mean, if I was a couch, I'd come with protection too. So,
Oh.
I don't know where he been.
So,
Bernie's on a tour for the oligarchs. Also, talking about the oligarchs and what they're doing. He's going around a lot of different states. So, he's stirring up other states.
how did he feel about getting kicked out of Vermont?
I'm very surprised by these cards, actually.
That the warm
I just heard he doesn't like maple syrup anymore.
They don't like you either.
Mm-mm.
I got nothing but bad cards.
Oh, so he
I figured, it'd be flipping or he didn't care or something like that, but it starts 5 of Cups. That's sadness and grief and loss and depression.
Oh, you mean they don't like Nazis?
There's
you
the 9 of Swords, worry and fear and anxiety and stress. The 3 of Swords, there's betrayal and heartbreak, and I got all the bad cards. The Hangman, he may have had a bit of a awakening, possibly. Then there's the World. Here's the thing. He has an assignment because he's been bought and paid for. That does not mean he's no longer human. It just means he has an assignment. He has to go do it anyway. Just like Marco Rubio stood his monkey ass on that couch and didn't say nothing that whole time. They have assignments. They've been assigned to do this. They're destabilizing the entire world, basically. That's their job. But that doesn't mean that stuff doesn't affect you still. And so when you get booted out of places, when you get shouted down, it's never happened to me, but I can imagine, because empathy, sympathy, right? When you're standing in front of a crowd of people and they all shout at you, go away, or something horrible or something harsh. When you are facing the crowd with the pitchforks and the torches, it's a completely different thing. You can't just shake it off. Donald Trump gets booed at a game and he goes home and pouts. And so there's betrayal and anxiety and depression and all the feelings that a person would feel when it affects you on a human level.
And Johnny, you know what they're saying in the chat? They're saying that other ski resorts were saying sorry, sold out, so he wouldn't try to go there either.
They don't want you there either. No room in the inn, sir.
I can't believe we all call him couch fucker now. Like that's like just that's his name, the couch fucker.
He's the CF.
Oh my god.
CF Vance.
Yeah. Oh my god.
He's a juvenile. His feelings were hurt. This is an opportunity to get a different perspective about what Americans think, and he's resisting change. He's going to fight it, tooth and nail. So he feels it. His back's against the wall, but it almost makes him want to be more aggressive. He's like, I got friends in this state. Yeah, no, that got burdened. Everybody's blocking you. It's just he's trying to figure out how to heal his image. That's the only thing he got out of it.
Go skiing in Kentucky.
Yeah.
In Florida or Texas.
Go skiing in Texas next time there's a freaking snowstorm. People are dying.
Go skiing with the little what's his name? The governor Abbott and his.
Oh my God! Hot Wheels.
You're gonna have a race to the bottom of the hill.
Just skiing with Hot Wheels.
Down a hill. Let him play Mario Kart. I can't.
Oh Lord!
I'm going straight to hell.
Whoever loses buys the Starbucks. It's like okay, bottom of the hill.
I can't. I've lost all sense of empathy for these people. I can't do it. I get the whip the house over.
Wait, did you see his hometown Ohio newspaper where he is from said this isn't right and had a whole full page op-ed bashing Vance? That's where you live, dude.
Whipping house. He's being criticized at home. He's being criticized at criticism to the family or where he lives at his home because he's an opportunist. Okay. And he suffers. But how did he feel about getting kicked out of Vermont? Somewhere deep down in his black hole of a soul, he might have felt a smidgen of shame. A smidgen. Like if you were to take an atom and split it in not even in half, in like 8 different pieces, in 8, take that one part of the 1/8 and split that in half, that tiny little piece of him felt some shame or embarrassment for getting kicked out of a state, you know.
Thank you, Margaret.
So criticism in his home, criticism where he went to the state, they don't like him. They don't trust him. They don't want him around. You got no friends. You know, so
you can't even go furniture shopping for a new couch now, dude.
Do you think if they did have a race, it'd sound like the horse races? You know how they give them all the strange names? And then you got Hot Wheels and Couch Fucker racing each other down. Couch Fucker coming around the bend and Hot Wheels is overtaking him. And then you got the Orange Turd and the Orange Menace coming on, and Asperger Ketamine is right behind them.
They're neck and neck.
oh Lord, I can't.
You got ketamine with his kid on him.
All of them been written by Putin.
Did you guys
with no shirt on?
Did you guys see Elon Musk at CPAC higher than a fucking kite?
Well, did you see Steve Bannon walking out and doing a Nazi salute?
A Nazi salute, yeah. They ain't even
entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
Like I said, the last time, do not come into my comment section and start trying to excuse that bullshit with, oh, they were only doing it because they have a mental disease. Fuck you and fuck that argument. I seen what I seen. That's a Nazi fucking salute. And in this country, we don't like Nazis. We don't like them. Okay? What were you saying, Jennie?
Alcyon says, Kitten Heels Cruise bringing up the rear.
It reminds me of that picture that was going around on TikTok of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse with
Cruise with kitten heels. I love it.
Elon Musk with his little cyber truck. Donald Trump riding the little horse.
Vance was riding the couch.
Yeah, fucking the couch.
We gotta find that picture and post it again.
Well, it's on my phone. I texted it to you. I thought you put it on your community page.
I think I did.
And then RF Jr. with the brain worm.
I swear there's not a brain. There's not a complete brain combined with all these people.
No, between all of them, they're sharing like a third of a brain cell, and it's on life support, dude. Like that thing is...
The brain worms are going to have to go to the dollar store too now. It's like,
Thank you,
enough to eat up there.
Oh God, it's starving. It's on life support, Johnny. It's on life support. And now, Brainworms is talking about banning vaccinations. Meanwhile, there's a freaking measles outbreak all over Texas. Yeah, plague enthusiasts. Let's go eat some fucking whale head to see if that'll cure. I can't with this insanity. I can't, you guys. I can't. I feel like I'm living in freaking crazy town. He drove around with a freaking whale head.
Hills crew's coming up behind Whalehead Worm.
Like, how did
Where's the salt and pepper?
How did he? All I keep thinking about is
salt and pepper.
how did he get the fucking whalehead up on the car?
Did you hear, Johnny? Where's your salt and pepper? Oh, I can't breathe.
Oh dear God.
Oh God.
I can't. This guy's like a roadkill enthusiast, dude. Like,
I'm
how did he
done.
put the whalehead on the roof of the car? Is what like you would think. It's a whalehead. It's not.
Oh Lord Jesus, help me! Right
And that's who we're gonna listen to about vaccinations. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Fran is saying there was a 3-year-old little girl that died from measles,
Of
and
course
this
it
motherfucker is walking around ban all vaccines.
They need help. They need medicine. But then again, too, keep this in mind. Some of the parents are also of the same mindset. They do not like shots. And so they don't want to give their kids any either. Okay, fine. I've never had measles. So
I've never had measles. I mean, I got, chicken pox when I was little. So I'll probably get, what's that thing when you get when you're older, when you've had
shingles.
I'll probably get that when I'm old, but these are preventable diseases. Polio. Let's bring back polio. Let's have a fucking party and bring back polio. I mean, it's just stupidity. And you're talking about a guy with no medical degree at all, doing all this shit. Where are the fucking lawsuits is what I want to know. Because I will be damned if him or any of his ilk come around and start taking away our right to our own medical treatment because he ate too much whalehead, roadkill, and has fucking brainworms now. Like, okay, so I can get my shingles vaccine after I'm 50. Okay, so I got a couple more years. I'll go get it then. Yeah, polio is next. Wait for it. Exactly. I'm telling you guys right now, I have gone back to masking when I go out. If I have to go to the store, I'm back to wearing my mask.
Donald Trump brings plague.
Yes. We've seen it. It's happened once already. God damn it.
He brings plague. I mean, like I said, Republicans are a disease at this point.
Yes.
They're literally corrupting and infecting everything.
And they're a danger to themselves too, Johnny. Yeah. They're a danger to themselves. All these fucking stupid idiots that just got laid off that are federal workers, they were all Trump voters. A lot of them that I've seen. Well, what did you think? You thought he was going to come up after the black and brown people? You thought your whiteness was going to save you?
God tried to tell Brainworm to shut up, but he affected his throat, right? Froze up his throat box. Is like, are you not listening? He's trying to tell you, shut up.
No, watch. He's going to go eat a dead raccoon or a dead possum off the side of the road to cure his freaking vocal cords or some shit. Like, that's next. I'm telling you.
They have raccoons on the grounds of the White House. Help yourself.
So Johnny, I took your advice and I watched a tiny little bit of the new show. Didn't watch the whole thing because I fell asleep. But I had the weirdest effing dream, dude. Because I don't know if it was because I was watching the thing where people have superpowers or whatever, but okay, I got to tell you. And then I'm going to have the petty question. I had a dream that it was me, but it wasn't me. It was like I was a person in the audience, right? So I'm seeing first person through somebody's eyes. And we were in a room where they were holding a press conference. And none other than the freaking 3-toed Neanderthal, Marjorie Taylor Greene, comes out and starts spewing a bunch of crap, right? Just bullshit lies or whatever. Johnny, in my dream, the person that I was had like superpowers, right? Because you know the show. And for those of you that don't know, we're talking about the Boys, which is the show I got Johnny watching. And then I guess they've made 2 spin-off shows. a cartoon, and then what's the other one called, Johnny?
I forget, but it's about like a college type thing, to where you go to superhero school.
But all the superheroes, they're awful. They're not good. They're like really bad. Okay. So the person in the audience has powers, right? And Three Toes Neanderthal starts talking. Her hair falls out. Her hair starts falling out like in clumps, in chunks. Her skin starts getting like all these huge, nasty, like pimple boils all over her arms, her throat, her face. Her teeth start falling out. And she's like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Her skin with all the boils and stuff starts like cracking open. And then as her hair's falling out, you start seeing shit poking out of the scalp. Dude, she turned into Medusa. She turned and I think it's because the person in the audience had the power to like do that. You know what I mean? So I woke up, I was like, that would be so fucking cool. Like, can you imagine if Marjorie Taylor Greene is sitting there holding a press conference and she literally turns into Medusa? Like,
I think that could be prophetic, because what it says to me is there's an exposure of what's underneath.
No, Johnny, I was too captivated by the goriness of it. Like, her hair was falling out in clumps. Yes, Mom, it's called The Boys. Fair warning, check the triggers, because you got to have a sense of humor like Johnny and I, because it
ain't Scooby-Doo.
This is not Scooby-Doo. The shit that happens on the show is so... I don't even...
Bizarre. It's not for the faint at heart.
No.
At all.
But Johnny, it was like vivid. Like her hair was like clumps, Johnny, like clumps. And then the huge pus-filled boil things all over her skin, everywhere on her face. Her teeth fell out, everything. And then she's like, what's happening? And then the next thing you know, when her hair fell out, there's like shit like bumping in her head. And then you see the fucking snake start hatching out of, I was like, oh my God, she turned into Medusa while she was holding a press conference. I'm like,
that's like awesome. A public exposure of her at a press conference. To
but
Johnny's
she may
point,
just be the representative of all of them.
Yeah,
be Donald Trump that's happening to.
But it was her. It was her. I was like, what the hell did I watch? And then I was like, oh, I started watching this.
I want to see that one. Now, if that happens, send me that clip. Everything else, you'll keep that.
So I want to know, is she going to turn into Medusa? Because I would give my left kidney to see some shit like that. I got to stop watching that show, dude. Because that dream was just way too... It was like some shit you would see on The Boys.
There's a Medusa tarot. I don't know why I don't have it.
Wait, so what's the question?
The question is she going to turn into Medusa?
Was it a... The only difference is Medusa, before she became Medusa, was beautiful.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is not.
No, that's why I called her Three Toes Neanderthal. Every time I see that Geico commercial with the Neanderthal, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she looks just like him.
Well, there are some Europeans that have Neanderthal DNA, and they're the only people on Earth that do. There's nobody else that does. So they do have that. That is a thing. So she is, I mean, you can see it in her face.
The bleached blonde, bad built butch body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, I can totally see that happening. The person that said that they dreamt that Elon Musk OD, I can totally see something like that guy from Friends. What was his name? Matthew Perry. I can totally see that happening to him.
I said that to you the other night when we were talking on the phone Friday night. I was like, Elon's like close to an OD. I can see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Will she Yes. Here's why I say that. Because, and this can't be a coincidence too, I've been explaining the Adam and Eve story so many times here to where you were let down by the person who was supposed to be taking care of you there. But the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands and the Lover's card, there's going to be some exposure over the relationships and the intention behind them. The Seven of Cups, it's going to be quite confusing. There's something that is supposed to be a narrative, something that they're supposed to be putting forth with the Seven of Cups, the gaslighting. It doesn't quite work. And it gets turned on its head. And that's kind of why, too, Donald Trump wants to take away a lot of the press credentials of certain people because they don't want to be exposed. But there's some exposure coming, and it shows bad for the party, especially. Even if it's not just her, but it's a few people. So, yeah, you're going to see what's underneath.
Yeah, the bully, you know, getting away with things and stirring up a lot of chaos and everything. It's going to be a public spectacle. So the head, you know, where the snakes all come out of, right? The head.
You know what? There was a snake in my car.
Everyone watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, the head of the changing. And to Johnny's point, other people she's been working with also in the White House are exposed in this, whatever it is. So she's about to have a lot of anxiety, but it's going to be just a little bit, maybe another month. Look at the snake card.
And you just said anxiety. You just said anxiety. There's something going on abroad that is causing a lot of anxiety, and there's something else also where there's a transition. It could be anything, like a transition that's getting deteriorated or eaten away at, or it's causing anxiety. Enterprise, there's something with Enterprise that's diminishing and causing anxiety. She's going to try to lie and cheat, and she'll be seen as the snake. And the whole team of people around her with the mice will be seen as snakes. Corrupt liars. Thieving liars. Do you see what I'm saying? So
it's a whole bunch of them.
So not literally turning into Medusa, which is a shame, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to see that bitch behind a podium and my dream come true, and the snake start, her hair fall out, her teeth fall out, and then she can't change back. She's just like that forever, you know? So that would be magnificent. But unfortunately, I don't have superpowers, because if I did, that bitch would be on my list. So that's all I got tonight. Camels eating
Find your zen, okay? Don't spend all week in the news cycle.
Yeah.
There's better stuff to watch.
I'm telling you, delusion is cheaper than therapy. That's where I've been going. Coloring books and reading. That's all I got.
I pay enough to pay attention, to stay informed, because I do think spiritually we have to care about our government. We have to, fight when it's necessary to protect our government. But take a break. Go watch some monkeys.
Discontent. Don't care nothing about Trump. Don't care nothing about tariffs. Just content as they can be. Eating big giant GMO grapes. It's fantastic. Find something different to do. We'll see y'all next week then. Next
week we will be on Auntie Biscuits' channel over here. And I call her Auntie Biscuits because she's Braxy's auntie. I'll try to calm down and not be so freaking pissed off, but it's kind of hard.
We need breaks. We have to unplug. I had mine, so I understand. We need breaks. We need to pull away. Spiritual people are still people too, so we need to pull away. Everybody.
And we're all
for all the super chats in case we've missed anybody.
Yeah, thank you for all the super chats, you guys, and just try to be mindful of not just us but all the readers on YouTube. We're people too, and we're right there, right along with you. And sometimes we need a break. you know,
And if you live in a blue state, push your governor to not release federal income tax to the federal government. Let's join them.
Yep. And if all fails, we're going to Boston to throw the Teslas in the harbor. All right. So stir some shit up. So, all right. Peace out, you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Otherwise, we'll all be eating roadkill.